Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. It's kind of been a second or two. It's been a minute since I've done a video on my weight loss journey. And I was kind of thinking about it this morning as I was getting dressed in my smaller clothes that it was time to kind of have a chit chat with you all. So it's been over a year and a year and 4 months since my surgery, and it's great. I am thrilled. I am so glad that I made this decision, because to me, I really believe that it saved my life. At this point, I've gotten pretty plateaued where I'm going to be at. I average in between 136 and 140 most days. This morning I was 137.8. So there's some fluctuation. I know some of that is water retention. It could be what I ate that day. It could be how much exercise I did that day. But I will say that the biggest struggle is the same struggle that we have prior to surgery, and that is just mindful eating, eating slowly, eating the right things, right? Because if you and here's the deal, if you have surgery and you reintroduce something that probably shouldn't be reintroduced into your life, your body is automatically going to be like, whoo, wait a minute, I remember that. And so now you introduce back the cravings that you could potentially have, or the not making the right decisions because you remember, like, food memory. I don't know what to call it, but so you got to be careful what you reintroduce. My biggest downfall right now is, and I'm going to make an excuse around it, and you'll hear it when I say it, because I do it all the time, but I eat reduced fat, low carb crackers. But I eat them almost every day, and my fear is that it eventually is going to catch up with me. So I need to nip that in the bud immediately. I tend to do crackers and cheese. That's my go-to snack. I am very good at staying away from sugars, but at the same token, if it's carbs, it turns into sugar, turns into fat. So I have to be more careful with that. So carbs has always been my downfall, although pre-surgery, sugar really was a big downfall for me too, because I loved sweet things. But I do love some carbs. Now, I barely ever eat bread. I have not gone back to pastas, or when I do pastas, it's not pasta. It's usually like a noodle, like a veggie noodle kind of a thing. Love spaghetti squash, so that's kind of my go-to for the noodle aspect. I have found some gluten-free protein noodles. I forget the name of them, but I don't have them often. So some of those things that I used to have all the time, I've eliminated almost from my diet. I do have bread. Typically, I'll try to have wheat bread if I'm going to have it. But I find that it fills me up way too fast, and it's not worth having that in my stomach first so that I can't get to the other foods that I want. So that's the biggest thing. And I am super, super, super mindful of what is going in my mouth rather than how much. I don't really need to pay attention to that yet, because I'm still limited on how much I can eat. So I think portions have become pretty common, as far as, like, I get about a cup of food per meal. There are things called sliders that you have to be very careful of. Mine are the crackers and Smart Food popcorn. Those are my two downfalls and my two sliders. I have to be really careful because I can mindlessly eat those. Like, you can sit and eat and eat and eat because they just slide. That's why they call them sliders, because they just slide down. They don't really sit in your stomach for any length of time, so you never feel full from them. I can with crackers if I eat them, if I eat too many of them. So the things that we had to be mindful of and learn prior to surgery, which was eating slow, not eating too much, eating the right foods, drinking half an hour before, half an hour after, not during a meal. Those types of things still are in effect because I can still have dumping. My dumping has changed, and I did a video about that. It's no longer wanting to come up. It's actually going through very quickly, and I can get some pretty bad cramping. And typically it's because I have eaten too fast. So I still have a hard time with that. That's one that I grew up with. You kind of get acclimated to that because even in the work world, you get half an hour lunch. And so you have to eat really fast. And if you're going somewhere to eat lunch, it's even worse, right? So it's a matter of habit forming. But otherwise, I feel like I'm doing really, really well because I've been able to maintain the weight now for a little over 6 months. And I just feel energized. I feel fantastic. I've gone from 8 medicines down to 1. I just am doing really, really good. And I don't know, makes me feel good to be able to share that information. And I'm just so grateful for all of you that have reached out. I know that I'm out there and open about it, but I know that it takes courage to ask questions, and I love that you guys come to me and ask questions. Matter of fact, I've gotten some gifts from you guys, and I should probably do videos when I get those. So that I can shout you out. But I'm so grateful, and I think it's because I've got my information down below, and I'm pretty open about everything. I want people to not be scared of this surgery. I want people to understand this surgery, and if I can give my perspective of it and help you understand a bit better and feel more comfortable about it, then I'll have done what I want to do. But I always try to update my information in the bar below, so I always have like my high weight, my current weight, my surgery weight, some of the information about like things that I've eaten. My personal information is down there, like my address and that stuff. I'm really an open book, and I'm okay with that because I feel like it helps you guys feel more comfortable with me, right? You want to get information. I always say this in the sales world with my Scentsy, that people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Well, I feel the same way that you're getting knowledge from somebody. I typically want to get some knowledge from somebody that I know, like, and trust. And I want you guys to know, like, and trust me. And so the only way to do that is to be authentic and to be open and raw. And so that's what I try to do. And I just love my community with you guys because you're just you're rewarding to me. Like, knowing that we've had a conversation is very rewarding to me. So I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate you following my journey with weight loss surgery, and I will try to continue to update you periodically. I know there's at this point it's kind of boring, but I know that when I was doing research, I looked for people who did updates 2-3 years down the road because I wanted to see the longevity of what weight loss surgery can provide, and not just the horror stories, right? Because those are usually the ones that we hear most, unfortunately. All right, guys, have an amazing day. Don't feel like you can't reach out because I would love for you to reach out. Make a comment below. Let me know if you've had surgery, if you want to share, if you have questions, just let me know. All right. Have an amazing day.